and welcome to Weekly Profit Talk. As you might imagine, we do this every single week. It is always on Wednesday and at 8:30 Mountain Time. So that is 7:30 if you're in LA or 10:30 if you're in Florida or New York. So good morning, everyone. Welcome. Today's topic is the hidden healthcare costs of the 2025 tax resolution. Um, you've probably been wondering exactly if you're seeing the news peripherally at all. And I know these days it's simple enough to just be able to say that I don't pay attention to that. There's too much negativity in it, that there's a bias, that sort of thing. Totally understandable. But things occurred on the 4th of July when they signed what we're calling OB3, which is basically, it means there's three B letters. One Big Beautiful Bill Act is the name of this thing that they passed into law. And there are a lot of opinions on both sides of the aisle about the effects that this is going to have on the American people. And I thought that it might be uh, a good idea to talk about the direct effect that it will have on private medical practices. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with a little visual aid here. And there we go. So um, first of all, if you're paying attention peripherally at all, or even, like I say, not paying attention necessarily, but if you've probably heard some noises about effects on Medicaid. The current administration campaigned on the idea that there are not going to be any cuts to a major benefit, not benefits, but major bureaucratic programs such as Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, and the like. Well, Medicaid's going to get hurt, and it matters to you. First of all, it's probably going to remove, and I wrote the number out in full, 10,500,000 people are probably no longer going to have medical coverage in the next 9 years. Physician organizations are already preparing to eliminate some services for Medicaid patients. We're noticing or hearing that many will reduce pediatric care, as well as reducing or perhaps even eliminating maternity services. The patients aren't going away, but their ability to pay is going to seem like they are. So what we anticipate happening, delays in preventative care from patient budgeting decisions can result in more charity cases. You find yourselves basically unable to collect. Even in decent circumstances, your revenue per patient stats, what we call RPP, and this is one of your most important statistics, is likely to suffer. And that is just basically a ratio, how much money you take in divided by the number of patients that you have. So you can also expect to see longer days in AR overall as well. That's basically the same as claims receivables. We like to see a sweet spot for that is 53 days for folks who have a primary insurance, and that average basically should include the secondary and even tertiaries. So long and the short of it is it is going to affect your practice to a certain extent, whether or not you take Medicaid. Now, you may say that you don't, but the thing is that there is going to be an effect. The patients aren't going to just go away. They may show up in emergency departments or urgent cares. Also, people having to pay out of pocket is going to result in preventative care delays. People are basically going to look at their paycheck and decide that rent and food are more important. And honestly, you can't blame them. So let's move on to the next thing. OB3 is estimated to create a total of 16 million newly uninsured Americans. This is not a choice, but it's just a fact of modern economics. It's just what's going to happen. These are working families that simply can't afford the premiums without some kind of subsidy or Medicaid eligibility, and it's going away. And the irony here, as you can see, your tax savings might increase your take-home pay, but your uncollectible receivables could increase by thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. So it's a thing to prepare for. Also, OB3 did not eliminate the PAYGO sequestration, which could lead to up to 4% of reimbursement reductions. So despite the fact that there's no direct hit on Medicare, we still have this indirect fallout. So they have thrown us a little bit of a bone with a temporary 2.5% physician fee schedule, but 2.5 doesn't fully offset 4%. Obviously, that's simple math. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So as far as the uncertain future of your medical practice, it's not all just about doom and gloom. There are things you can do proactively at this point. You didn't go to school to stay up late nights worrying about economics and financials. So you want to plan for multiple scenarios, not just the best case outcome. I think that's seems like no-brainer advice for me to share that with you, but accountants tend to think in black and white, yin and yang avenues. So sorry. So plan for multiple scenarios. You might have higher bad debt reserves. For example, potential revenue volatility. We're aware of that already. Administrative cost increases. That's another thing we got to keep in mind too. Some of the things that are going on in the world that are not related to this bill are making some of the supplies that you're buying increase in price as well. So control the controllables. I want to try to leave on some kind of up note here. Proactive tax planning in tandem with maximizing margins while building financial resilience should be a goal and a guideline for you. And it's possible to take a look at your financials and shake your head and wondering where things are going. But the fact of the matter is and this is true in my business, businesses of other people, non-medical related. It is very difficult to read the label on the bottle from the inside. And that's basically where you're sitting. There's nothing wrong with working with a guide that can help you specifically with the kind of financial guidance that your medical practice needs. Think realistic preparation and resiliency. If you say out loud the kinds of things that can happen that could turn everything south, basically these things tend to have they tend to have a half-life, and you'll find that some of these things end up spiraling into more reality than you really wish for. So if you try to basically look at the situation as what can I do to create the best possible outcome, and not, well, this is just a terrible bunch of stuff that's going on and there's really no hope. Try to avoid pessimistic thinking, in other words, and be as resilient as you possibly can. So hopefully, though this wasn't all extremely good news, that you're going away with some kind of idea about what you can possibly do moving forward into the remainder of this year and into 2026. So to sum up then, OB3 is going to have a few positive effects on your paycheck, but there are other things that remain in place. And one of the things I want to mention too is that as far as the personal Form 1040, there are some reforms that I was looking forward to. The qualified business income deduction remains in place, but we are still specialized service trades and businesses, you and I, accountants, doctors, as well as architects, lawyers, several other specialized services, which means that past a certain point, you no longer qualify for the qualified business income deduction, or QBID. I believe that number is sitting somewhere in the low 500,000s for married filing joint. So I was hoping to see that go away. It did not. But again, the main thing is to think positively and plan for multiple scenarios. So With that, I hope you found this helpful. And I'd like to close by reminding you that we're on one of three media here, and all three of them have a comments capability: YouTube and LinkedIn, as well as Facebook. And if you write more information or help or call me or just anything in one of those and would like to explore more about how having expert guidance in your medical practice can help you to reduce your tax and increase your cash flow and profit, then reach out and let us know. The first conversation is always free, and we'll give you up to 45 minutes of our time. So with that, I am hoping that you're otherwise having a great Wednesday so far and staying cool in this August heat, wherever you may be in the country. And so long for now. And if you have a chance today, do something randomly kind for a stranger. So with that, have an amazing rest of your day and week, and we will